in Eastern and Southern Africa, rice is just becoming important from the food security perspective and also from the cash or income security perspective. Annual consumption is increasing by about 13% in Kenya, and so is the case for Ethiopia. And if you look around, the neighboring countries in Eastern and Southern Africa, rice demand is on the rise.
In terms of consumption, there has been a lot of changes in terms of dietary requirements and also increasing population and also increasing the number of youth. Rice is very good in terms of cooking. It takes shorter time to cook. So this increase has led to the country importing 85% of the rice that we consume.
So there's a huge gap between the annual consumption or annual demand and the annual local production, domestic production. Now in this process, actually we are spending about 6.5 billion USD across sub-Saharan Africa just to make sure that our people have enough rice on their plate.
It is very critical to develop new products or varieties. Some of these varieties, they were released more than 40 years ago. They were not bred for the current climate scenario we have. We have so many challenges at the moment. Look at the rains, they are very unreliable. Look at the climatic patterns, they have really changed. So those varieties were bred for the climate that is not the current climate. In terms of the biotic stresses, we are talking about the diseases that affect rice. Mainly we are talking about, especially in East Africa, the rice virus, which is a viral disease for rice. We are talking about bacterial leaf blight. We are talking about a disease that is called rust. These diseases have also changed. They have evolved with the time. And those varieties that the farmers have been growing cannot be resistant or cannot withstand the diseases that we have at the moment.
How can we effectively carry out direct seeded rice production in the country and reduce on the labor and cost of production that is associated with transplanting as we try to move towards climate change and climate resilience varieties? We want to actually move in tandem with conservation of our environment through reduction of the water that we are using in our farming system.
This has all been because of the support that we've gotten from Crop to End Hunger. We have been able to automate our direct seeded rice production here, and this is during the first phase where they helped us set up this infrastructure where we are able to test and promote direct seeded rice as a technology, because we know that as opposed to the irrigated system, the water has been reducing, the cost of production is high in terms of the time that it takes to handle the fields, the amount of water the farmers use, the river that it use. Direct seeded rice is very viable, especially in the current production system, in that we can have varieties that have a shorter duration period. Also in terms of greenhouse gas emission, rice also, especially in panded field, is rated as high in greenhouse gas emission. In direct seeded rice, we know that in terms of greenhouse gas emission, DSR has the least when you compare to the panded or irrigated rice production. Something we are very proud of is one of the variety that we released here in the country called Komboka, which means to liberate, kukomboa in Kiswahili, to liberate. And this variety has really come to as a game changer in the country.
The advantage to the dissemination of Komboka to the farmers has been specifically on yield, because farmers have been able to achieve almost double the yields that they have been achieving previously with earlier released varieties in the country.
While Pishori is yielding about 2 tons or maybe 2.5 tons per hectare, this new variety which is called Komboka, so that is yielding significantly higher, about 6.5 tons to 7 tons per hectare.
So Komboka is a variety that you have bred and released in collaboration with our major partner here, KALRO, Kenya Agricultural Livestock and Research Institution. And the beauty of this variety is that in addition to the yields that I've mentioned, it is semi-aromatic, which means, especially for the country, the people in the country prefer, what we call fragrance rice or slightly aromatic rice. In addition, this variety matures 2 weeks than the variety that the farmers grow, so they can be able to save on water, they can be able to save on labor, and also means that lowers the cost of production. In addition, this variety has moderate resistance to some major diseases like rust and bacterial leaf blight, and also The milling recovery, you know, at the end of it all, when a farmer or an agribusiness harvests the rice, they want to see how much of the rice is all grain as compared to the broken rice. So it means in terms of the end rice recovery, we call it, Komboka as 67%, which means that at the end of it all, the farmer can be able to get more yields from Komboka. Also, it's very suitable for both the irrigated and also landfill lowland.
When we look at the changing trend in rice cultivation, typically in Kenya and also in maybe other parts like Tanzania and other countries also, now farmers are asking for new varieties. Farmers are curious about the new technologies. We can demonstrate the benefits of the new technologies, benefits of new varieties to the farming community.
So together with our national partners, we design the product, we discuss the traits that needs to be incorporated there. We make sure that we have all our product concepts all aligned with the national partners. So we work hand in hand with them from the product design, conceptualization, design, market segmentation, updating this information to make sure that the product that we develop fit the market segment that we have agreed that it should fit.
We've been able to participate in the project on crops to end hunger, and through the project we've been able to receive equipment and infrastructure to help us in our research activities, as well as training on how to use some of these facilities that we are receiving from them. We've received training on speed breeding, especially for the breeding program, and a total of 25 scientists and technicians have been trained.
For sure, without crops to end hunger, we wouldn't have these facilities that we can be able to promote this flagship dialect seeded rice as a flagship for us, and looking at the potential that it has in the future and looking at where we want to go in terms of expansion. They have really come very handy. In terms of capacity, we know this part of the world, the capacity is not as it is especially in Asia, where we have so many scientists that are trained on rice. Capacity building has been very, very key. So in terms of ABI, instead of giving us the fish, they have come us to teach us, our partners and us, on how to fish, because we know that that's how it becomes sustainable.
We are able to release technologies, new technologies to the farmers at a faster rate than we were able to do previously, and also it's also a good opportunity for the farmers to be able to come and see new infrastructures that farmers who are able can also emulate and improve this in the rice farming systems for their own farms back at home.
So ABI has really come to support us in terms of shortening our breeding cycle, modernizing our breeding, capacity building. A lot of our national partners have been supported in terms of training our researchers, both our technical team and also the scientists. So we are very, very grateful for ABI for the support that they have been giving us.